break down the film like the coach did, he said, wait a second, this guy's not young. He's getting beat up a little bit. So, Brooke, that's the offensive side of the ball. We know in Pittsburgh, it's the defense, except for they gave up 32 points to Justin Field and the Jets. So how are they going to shore that up coming up in week 2?
Matt, it starts with the signing of Jabrill Peppers, which Mike Tomlin just disclosed to us on that podium. That's a byproduct of Deshaun Elliott, strong safety, exited last week's game with a knee injury. Tomlin already said that he is out this week against the Seahawks, but there's more to it than Deshaun Elliott's injury and Jabrill Peppers signing. Patrick Queen, another first-rounder. By the way, the Steelers' defense now has 6 former first-rounders on it. But Patrick Queen said after the game that they played like absolute trash, and that if the defense kept playing like this, they were going to get their faces mashed in. Mike Tomlin doesn't want that. He said he doesn't think it's a scheme issue, that it's more about recognition and communication. So that's something that they're going to work to shore up this week in practice.
Yeah, and this isn't to slight Justin Fields at all, Marcus Spears, but I don't think anyone thought that this version of the Jets was going to come in and score 32 points on the Steelers defense that still has a lot of talent. So from your seat as a defensive guy, what did you make of it?
They looked discombobulated. The defense did. They were not gap sound, which you have to be in the run game. And then, too, let's be real. Like, Justin adds an element to the game with his athleticism that puts defenses in harm's way. When they played it the right way, it looked really good. Like TJ smashing people in the backfield and making tackles for loss. I think they were surprised by the anticipatory throws that Justin Fields made.
Yeah.
That's not his MO. You go into a game with a scouting report and a plan, and you tell yourself, like, it was surprising to, I think, everybody that he pushed the ball down the field as much as he did. This athleticism, their run game, which is really good, and also give them some credit. They were super physical. That offensive line going to be really good in New York. But when you look at Pittsburgh's defense, it's always been really built on stopping you from running the football and then getting after the passer. And that's the vein that they want to live in. And I say leaving this game, if Aaron can play like that, barring not getting the pressures and getting hit, I always thought if this was a 24-point game team, then this defense would be playing ahead, and that's when you let T.J. Watt go and you brought over Jalen Ramsey to be a ball-hawking guy. They had some good signs. It's week 1. I don't want to panic with a quarterback that offers a lot of issues when it comes to your numbers and how you're able to disperse defensively. But they got to get this run game fixed more than anything. That's what their focus should be.
Saturday, get in there.
Yeah, and I think the other part that kind of goes undervalued is Fields was there last year. He saw a lot of that defense. It's not like, he's going in and has no idea what the Steelers are going to try to do to him. So, they had tape on him, obviously, him being there, but he had the same. And so he took full advantage of what the Steelers want to do. And when they did make mistakes, he made them pay. But if to Spears' point, man, you can't give up these rushing yards. Like that offensive line flat out got after him. I mean, the Jets O-line freaking got physical on him. If that's the one thing I would be the most nervous. You don't want to get out physical in week 1. That's when everybody's, their hats on, everybody's fired up. Right. That is not the way you want to start week 1.
The irony in all of this, I don't think the Jets offense looked like that once when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. And he was on the other side doing his thing. Gentlemen, stand by. Brooke, thank you. Christine?
Yeah, let's talk about the game that we saw last night, a little Monday Night Football. Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. You know how it ended. First quarter, Vikings driving down 11 after a missed Bears field goal. 12 minutes ago, 3rd and 5 from the Bears 13. J.J. McCarthy sits in the pocket. He finds his guy, Justin Jefferson, for the touchdown. Watch it again. Impressive throw, very tight window. After a failed 2-point attempt, Vikings down 17-12. We love the Brady, by the way. 2 minutes later, first down, Vikings from the Bears 27. McCarthy drops it down the right sideline to Aaron Jones. That's a score. They would convert the 2-point attempt and lead 20-17. 3 minutes left in the game. Vikings trying to ice the game after another Bears punt. McCarthy takes it in himself on the option, gets blocking on the outside, finds the end zone. He finished 13 of 20, 143 pass yards, 25 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns, and of course the Vikings would win 27-24 in his debut. So Jeff, as the saying goes, right, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But what do you have to say about the full package that J.J. McCarthy put together last night?
I love his finish, right? When you think about throwing that pick 6 at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, I mean, the air was out of the ball for this football team. He bulled his neck, Christine, and was like, you know what? I'm going to let it rip. And he did. And you saw the rest of the game, right? He kept pushing the ball down the field. He wasn't hesitant. He understood he made a bad play that set his team way back. But you love that a guy has that type of response. Because the reality is, you don't know what the guy's going to be until he hits prime time, right? Big lights. And when he saw him, he didn't back down. He kept pushing forward. They got more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball, simultaneously with the offense. Got a lot of respect for the way he finished that game.
Yeah, Swagu, we were both in Chicago yesterday. You got to see him live and in person. What was your evaluation of McCarthy's first night?
Grew up right in front of our eyes. He dealt with what I thought he would deal with early in the game. The game being fast, different looks from Dennis Allen. He was a little bit confused, played timid. But I got to give Kevin O'Connell a shout-out, man. In real time, you saw a coach never waver on his quarterback. He kept J.J. McCarthy in this game. He also kept calling plays for him to have success. You've seen this, Christina, and Jeff has seen this a million times. When you get a young quarterback and he's struggling early, coaches have a tendency to say, we just going to hand the ball off, and if we get to a punt, we'll be fine. Kevin O'Connell was like, the hell with that.
Yeah.
We still going to try to go score some
Yeah.
points. The run game got going for him. J.J. confidence started to begin to build, especially after that touchdown.
Yeah.
He threw in the middle of the field to Justin Jefferson, and things started to slow down. I talked about it on Monday Night Countdown last night. The reason why I didn't pick the Minnesota Vikings, because I had never seen their quarterback play an NFL game on the road on Monday night. Y'all know what that's like. It's a playoff atmosphere. And you could see that it was getting to him early, but the way this kid bounced back and responded not only is about the infrastructure that's around him and the coaches, it also tells you a lot about his makeup and what kind of football player they plan on him being for years to come in Minnesota.
Yeah, Jeff, you want to add something?
When you talked about the touchdown that he throws in the middle of the field to Jefferson, the play before where Jefferson's, I think it's a third down, he's breaking out, maybe in second down, he's breaking out on the outside. He took a shot right in the chest, still delivered that ball to Justin. That's where I thought he really started to catch fire. Like, he's like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to stand in here. I'm going to make these throws. And to your point, next thing you know, he hits a touchdown in the middle of the end zone. That's tough to do, and he did it. That was special.
Yeah, I want to make this point because Jeff brought it up, and we talked about that play. Rookies, when they playing bad like that, they do not throw the ball in the middle of the field. Like, that's me, Jeff, that was big, too, that he chose that location. Now, I know it makes it a lot more comfortable that that's Justin Jefferson running across the middle of the field. But usually you get timid, and you don't want to let that ball go because you're worried about the mistakes that's been happening previously.
Well, O'Connell told him that he had confidence in him to get them back into the game. So I would imagine that played into it as well. Let's talk about the other side of this matchup when it comes to the Bears. Caleb Williams in the offense, they started off fast, right? But then they weren't able to keep up the pace. What were your evaluations of Caleb Williams now in Ben Johnson's offense?
It's going to take time. I mean, you think about this. J.J. McCarthy has been in the same program for over a year. Caleb Williams has had, three head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, and this is week 1 with Ben Johnson. They've been together for 5 or 6 months. It's going to take time. He looked good on the first 15. As it progressed, he kind of fell back to some old habits that he had last year.